maybe just give the audience a little bit of your origin story. How did you come to having this such an expansive career in the healthcare ecosystem?
Yeah, thank you. Um, yes, happy to share my journey so far. My path has been pretty much non-linear. I started at MIT doing research in microbial genetics and molecular biology. So real bench science, precision, patients, and the scientific method. And I really loved it. But pretty quickly, I realized that discovery on its own doesn't change anything. You can publish papers, make breakthroughs, but if it just stays in the lab, it doesn't matter. What fascinated me was the translation piece. How does this become a therapy, a product, or even a business? So I made what seemed like a crazy pivot. I joined Partners Group doing private equity, focused on leverage buyouts in healthcare. And this was a complete mental shift. Suddenly, I was looking at mature businesses, healthcare services, dental networks, care homes, medtech suppliers, contract manufacturing, and I was thinking in completely different terms. So it wasn't about the science anymore. It's about value creation. What drives revenue growth over the next 3 to 5 years? What are the regulatory landscape? Where is it heading? What are the tailwinds and headwinds? How do you optimize the cost structure to improve profitability? And how do you generate free cash flow? And what are the bolt-on acquisitions that make sense? And then very financially, what's the entry valuation and what are the exit scenarios? So it was this intense crash course in the economics of healthcare, and I was learning to dissect businesses not by their technologies, and but by what actually moves the P&L. And because we were looking across so many subsectors, I got this panoramic view of how the health system fits together and how these little different pieces connect. But here's the thing, it was very high level, very strategic, very financial, uh, but I didn't really understand how things work on the ground. How do hospitals make decisions? How do technology actually get adopted? So I really wanted to get closer to that reality. Therefore, I moved to the operating side. Again, it seemed like a crazy idea at the point. A lot of people ask me, why did you leave Partners? So I joined Philips Healthcare and led the imaging software business across Asia Pacific. And this is where I really learned how hard adoption is. We were integrating advanced informatics into imaging clinical workflows, and that was before digital health was even a thing. And what I discovered is that even if your technology genuinely improves outcome, if it doesn't fit into hospital workflows or reimbursement frameworks, it just doesn't scale. And somehow that experience pulled me towards startups. I helped build the consumer arm of Asia Genomics, which was one of Southeast Asia's early precision medicine platform. We were doing genomics-based diagnostics and prevention, trying to bring it directly to the consumers and wellness businesses at that point. As a startup, it was scrappy, totally different from Philips. So we had to raise money, hire teams, explain GWAS, genetic risk scores to doctors and consumers who had never heard of any of these. And that really gave me massive respect for founders, the ambiguity that they live in every day, and how different it is to create something from scratch versus optimizing something that's already exists. Um, After that, I also co-founded a home care business around the time that ended up getting acquired by a listed healthcare group in Singapore. Eventually, I wanted to bring all these perspectives together: the scientific, the operational, the financial. So I moved to venture and helped launch Cathay Health that invested at the intersection of medtech, life sciences, and digital health, basically where technology met biology. And having been a founder myself, I think that really changed how I work with companies. I understand what early stage teams are actually dealing with, the difference between 0 to 1 and 1 to scale, and how to turn promising science into a real business, how to bring in the right partners and the right investors into the journey at the right time. It's a completely different rhythm from PE. It's less about optimizing what exists and more about helping something new take shape and navigating all the different uncertainties that came with that. So when I look back, I mean, it seems like a very non-linear journey, but each chapter built a different muscle. Science taught me how to think rigorously and ask better questions. PE taught me discipline and capital efficiency. Corporate life was very different, taught me how systems actually work and why they're so hard to change. And startups taught me resilience and speed, and honestly, humility. And venture brought it all together. The pattern recognition, risk assessment, and also really empathy for what it actually takes to build something in healthcare.
That's amazing. That's a fantastic journey, and I'm definitely I need to pick your brain right now.